Hello, everyone. We are coming at you live from the Liminal Pines. It's it's me. I just love smiling so much. I'm such a big smiler. See? But good evening, everyone. Let's get to business. So, you might be wondering, why in the world would I want to draw skulls? Like ever, unless I was doing something just like horror related, or I guess I was like really studying just like how to draw a skull. It's like, what if I am just drawing people? What if I am just drawing characters and I'm never going to draw a skull in my entire life? Well, that's the thing. Like with a lot of things, art related, it is very important to understand the fundamental aspects of whatever it is that you are drawing. And that includes structure. And it just so happens that the face is a very difficult thing to draw. And one of the best ways that we can practice on how to draw faces is to understand the underlying structure, aka the skull. Because once you can learn how the skull is structured, how it's shaped, you can start to accurately envision that in your head whenever you're drawing faces, and you can learn how to tweak angles, sizes, shapes, etc., without it just looking weird. So we are really seeking to understand what it is that we are drawing, which in this case is going to be people. Um, Beyond that, drawing people is also just uh, fun, and drawing skulls is a lot of fun. So I think it's just a neat thing to be able to draw like skeletons every now and again. Not even like like a Halloween sort of way, but just they're just like cool to draw because there's lots of little nuances, and it's an interesting form to be able to take a peek at. And it's not something that we see in our day-to-day lives. Well, we see it, we just don't see it. One thing I will say to those who are watching, if you are looking at someone or look at yourself in the mirror, pay attention to the markers of a person's skull sitting underneath their skin, and you will start to feel an existential dread. There was one time where I was just like looking in front of a mirror, and I was kind of just like pulling back on my skin, kind of seeing how the skin moved over the form underneath, and I got this like weird feeling where I was like, "Oh darn, there's a skull under there. There's a skeleton underneath all of that." I don't know. I think that's freaky. But yeah, so today's stream is going to be structured. I'm just going to give you right off the bat. It's going to be structured. Obviously, there's the introduction. I'm going to do a little bit of a show and tell before we get started drawing. We're gonna, after the show and tell, peep down at the sketchbook here, and we're gonna look at what I've been doing over the past 2 weeks because I skipped my stream last week. Sorry about that. Reasons. Um, Habes! OMG! Habes, hello. I was not in a weird way. I was thinking about you the other day. I was thinking about like your YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, like Habes hasn't been in a stream anytime recently. I'm gonna see if she posted any videos, and you didn't post any videos, which that made me feel better because I didn't like miss anything. That's I don't know. I don't mean that in a mean way because I understand. I suck at posting videos. Like I got a sketchbook tour uh geared up and ready to go, and I'm just it's coming. It'll be out when it's out. Yeah, I just, getting stuff done is difficult. Yeah. Oh, hello, Joe. Sorry, I would have said hello earlier. I wasn't sure if you were still in the stream because you had typed that in like um before I started. But yeah, what was I saying? We were saying how the stream was going to be structured. Yeah, we're going to peep down at the current sketchbook after the show and tell. We're going to look at what I've been doing over the past 2 weeks. And then we're going to get to drawing. Um, yeah, Joe Mama. Joe knows what's up. Joe knows what's up. Okay. All right. First thing, part of show and tells you always have to have a drink. Today we are drinking. Fresca sparkling soda water. This stuff is really good. It's sugar free. Normally you can taste the sugar free stuff in a sugar free drink. I cannot with this. This thing tastes so amazing. So if you have not had this, please sponsor. Yeah, these things are fantastic. I don't even care for grapefruit all that much, but those are great. The second thing that I want to show all of you, this is really cool. Right here, it's this little construction set that I got. It's not Lego. It's actually knockoff Lego, but Lego is so expensive now these days, and this is not a thing that they were ever going to make. But this right here, the focus thing is being weird, so I apologize for that. This is a chip to one of my favorite video games ever, Outer Wilds. This is the Hearthian ship that you pilot throughout the game, and yeah, I was looking online and I saw this and I was like, you know what, that is so incredibly cool. I love this game, and I was like, I'm gonna get that. So now I have it, and now it's a cool little display piece, and it was so incredibly cheap. I feel like guilty for how much I paid for this. This thing cost $20, and I spent 3 days building it. Ethically, this was not a good purchase. But as a consumer in a post-capitalist society, there's no such thing as ethical consumption. So therefore, I have my little toy. Anyways, it's got a little interior. Oh my gosh, that's a calico critter. But yeah, very very cool. This is such a dope display piece for a video game that I love, and a video game that's probably never gonna get a Lego set in its entire life. So it's like, am I really taking away from the creators? That's really bad of me to say. I apologize. I love my thing. I love things. Yeah, there's a little creature inside. I love creatures. Okay. Um, we're gonna pop the camera down real quick, and I have one more thing to show and tell all of you, which is something that is not, I can't just like hold up in front. So we're gonna pop to our buffer here. I need to fade that. I need to find a way to fade that. We're in studio mode. Okay. One of these days, I'll have a really fancy camera setup, and it'll all be controlled with artificial intelligence, and I won't ever have to do anything uh, screwy with it, ever. That's the goal, at least. Oh, this camera placement is atrocious, but that's okay. You'll be able to see some of my things in here. Okay. And hello, that's my hands. This isn't completely level. I'll probably be fiddling with this silly little camera for the rest of the stream. So if it's not completely parallel to the desk, I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. I need to stop apologizing. So much stuff. Anyways, the next thing that I want to show you is this. This is some little show and tell, and I bought this for $18 at a McKay's. If you don't know what McKay's is, it's a like a mega bookstore, used bookstore, and they sell other knickknacks and junk. But yeah, this is volume 3 of Vagabond. I have 2 reviews for Vagabond for the first 2 volumes on my channel currently, if you want to check those out. But this is the 3rd volume, and I'm about halfway through it, as you can see. And I picked it up because it was for sale, cheaper than retail, which, you know, can't beat that. But yeah, I have been enjoying this volume quite a bit. Again, the art is just so amazing. Now, one of the things with Takehiko Inoue is that he draws on like really big paper, so he's able to cram a lot of detail into his drawings, and he also, I believe, uses some form of digital post, like a post digital workflow where textures are added and gradients are added. I don't think it's all done traditionally, but what is here is still incredibly impressive. And as I've said before many times, he just has this amazing way of depicting movement, and he has an amazing grasp on the human figure, which is very relevant today because it doesn't. You need to be able to see the skull underneath the face in order to draw it accurately. So yeah, this has been an amazing read so far, and I'm excited to get through it, and I'm excited to read more of this manga. I'm glad that I am reading it sort of in a piecemeal fashion. I don't like binging things typically. Binging things sort of gives me a lot of what's the word? It tires me. It's mentally taxing to binge stuff. I love to take my time with things, which is why I'm yapping right now. Sketchbook. This is the front of the sketchbook. I still haven't decorated the back. I'll probably decorate the back sometime soon, but I did the front with just a pen, and then I sprayed it with a fixative spray. But yeah, we're not gonna start from the very beginning. We'll start here. This is the beginning of the month. My frequency on drawing has picked up a lot here recently as I've been my wrist has been feeling better. It's still not perfect, but we're still doing a lot better than before. And so I've been able to draw a bit more frequently, which is always a good thing. Yeah. You'll see the sketchbook is filled with a lot of sort of thumbnail sketches, which they work very well and they look very clean for a sketchbook of this size. Really a lot of buildings. Because one of my goals with this sketchbook is to do backgrounds, textures, perspective, and expressions. So this building stuff sort of falls around the backgrounds, textures, and perspective. There is a lot of perspective here in terms of having 3D objects. It's just how do I depict perspective with such scales is the real challenge. This is from I think it's the last stream we did, right? Yeah, this is from the last stream, so 2 weeks ago, on the 14th. These were the warm-ups, and these two are from the stream. I like this one right here. I would like this one more if I wasn't using just a single nib width. I really should have switched to a finer pointed nib for this one right here, but the techniques are there. And then right here, 15th of June, this sketch is just all right. It's just all right. This is from One Piece, from Thriller Bark. If anybody's familiar with One Piece, this is one of the features of Thriller Bark. I could rant about One Piece. Okay, I'm gonna rant about One Piece really quick. Thriller Bark has been. It was initially a very compelling arc, and then it just kept on getting more and more boring for me. And currently, where I'm at now, I have just completely tuned out. I'm still watching it, of course, but I am not engaged with it whatsoever. And I think that is a fault of the anime because the pacing is just insanely bad a lot of the time. Yeah, here I sort of switched over to doing some figures just because I was a bit bored with drawing this stuff. Sort of, you'll see me hop back and forth quite a bit. Definitely, I'm using ink. For this one right here, I was trying to use as little outlining as possible, which I feel like I succeeded with. I was really testing the tolerance of the paper as well. I think this is 120 GSM. No, it's 160 GSM. So I was just trying to see how much water, how much ink it could take. Definitely getting closer to like my style of drawing things with some of these. Here we have these are just drawing people, and this is copies from other artists. You'll see some Kim Jung-gi in there, mostly Kim Jung-gi actually, with some other artists sprinkled in there, but mostly Kim Jung-gi. These are from two other artists. And here's sort of me trying to apply the way that the eyes are drawn on a different scale. Maybe not depicting emotion, but sort of just trying to draw them in a way that I like. We had just some more people. We have. I just looked up a person who was afraid, and I drew that right there. Yeah. Here's a. I don't even know what you call this. A little creek with a tree. Really just. My goal with this was to just draw a tree and then trying to figure out how to do the rest. And instead of drawing the foliage, I kind of just like followed the contour of the ground with these lines here. And then for this right here, for people who have stuck around with the channel and have seen previous sketchbooks, this is a sketch I did. This is a sketch of a picture I have done a sketch of previously. This is iconic. This will go down the annals of history books. Here we have some, I don't know what that was. Here you have this is a dude with really baggy pants. Thought he looked cool. I like the way I did the shoe. I think the shoe turned out really nice. Drawing feet can be very hard, so that's a win for me. Here we have, this is kind of a mess. I do like the framing of it, though. I like the composition of it, but the rest of it is kind of, if you can't tell, it's like a cave with a thing above it. Yeah. Anyways, here we have two figures standing, and the figures were done with reference, but the rest of it was kind of just me filling in the gaps with an alleyway off the dome. Here's a little courtyard. I like the composition of this one quite a bit. I think it's fun. I like this little framing pillar that's in the foreground here. Here is some like a little stairway. I like the way that looks. I think it's got some charm to it. I do like the values that I have going on there, and I like the way that I did the steps. I tried not to do a lot of outlining with that. Here's some skulls that I've been drawing. I light down some. Wow. Here's some skulls I've been drawing. I did these the 23rd and the 24th. Yeah, 25th. You'll be seeing more stuff like this today. This is kind of the vibe that we're going for. We're not gonna get too anatomical, but we are going to be drawing skulls after all. And that leaves us with the past 2 days. Maybe it's not the past 2 days. I don't know. I think I did this the day after. I don't know why I put the 26th twice, but we have it there. This is like of some thickly clustered trees with a little thing behind it. And this is... I've done a sketch of this before, too, in the past, for anyone who knows the channel. Knows the sketchbooks, might I add. Yeah. Great. So let's put on some tunes. We're gonna be putting on some because we were just talking about Outer Wilds, we're putting on some Outer Wilds music today. Let me know if you can hear that music, because my little bar here isn't going, but if not, because I was looking at my last stream and the music didn't go through, and I don't know why. I don't know if I had it too quiet or what. Love that last sketch. You're loving drawing architecture lately. Thank you. Um, Me too. Well, I mean always, right? But I do also get in sort of those moods where I sort of where I'm only drawing buildings from here on out. Which is good. It sort of like lets you take a break from drawing other things. So yeah, I would love to see those. I would love to see those sketches too. By the way, used to be too intimidated by it. I feel that drawing complex architecture still kind of scares me quite a bit. You can? Okay, good. Thank you. Um, yeah, drawing architecture for me has also been like a weak point, which is kind of why I kind of like hounded on it. You can't hear the music? Drats. I see. I wonder why it does that. Maybe there is just gonna be no music this stream because for some reason it's being goofy. Maybe if I you hear it now? See, I see the little thingies going, but I'm afraid that when the song switches, you can't hear the music. Okay. Yeah, you hear it now? Okay, cool. If the music goes out after this point, I don't know. I need to figure out a way how to keep the music playing consistently. I know there's a way to do it. I'm just too lazy to figure it out right now. But yeah. Today's the 28th. Yeah, it's the 28th. I remember from the streams though now. Lovely. All right. So while we sit and ponder for a moment, I am going to find a reference for I'm going to find a reference for this. We're going to find a reference that we're going to draw. Maybe I need to be looking on Pinterest. So while I'm looking for some of these things, anyone who's watching, please tell me how your day has been. Tell me how your week has been. Tell me all the things that you've been drawing. Tell me all the things that you would like to be drawing. So on and so forth. You know, one of the big issues now of drawing the skull, or anything for that matter, is trying to find what is not artificial intelligence, especially on Pinterest. It's pretty bad. It's pretty darn bad. Okay. You need to get one of those little mini heads. Fits in your hand, cheap, super handy to change those. You're right. I've been thinking. You are right. You are very correct. I don't. Where do you find such a thing? Or I guess like, what would I be like? Would I just like search like tiny skull? I'm literally sitting in front of a computer. You don't need to answer that question. I'm just being dumb. But I will look into that because I do agree. It's like that would be very beneficial for my cause here. This looks like a real skull, so we're gonna draw it as if it's a real skull. You know what I mean? Okay. So, I'm just gonna, what I like to do normally is like, I just start with like a little circle like that right there. And like, I'm kind of gonna incorporate some like some Loomis head methodology when I'm doing this. Okay. So it's like, you know, you start with a circle. Since this is like a full portrait, your center line, your brow line is gonna be right here, obviously. And then obviously you're gonna have your hairline, bottom of the nose, chin situation, correct? And then we're gonna start with doing. I'm gonna start with this right here. And by this I mean the eye socket, which is going to be sitting right below your brow line, and it's sort of going to be, and I'm really just blocking these shapes in currently. We'll do some refining as we're doing it later. One thing about the human eye socket is that like the bottom like corners are going to be like more rounded, like this right here, and you have sort of this like angular shape up top. Which makes sense if you're looking at a nose, right? You normally have this bone that sits right here. That's this like triangle shape. And then typically with your little nose hole, I guess. I don't know what the clinical name for these is going to be. So don't expect me to be saying anything clinical here. But normally your little nose hole is going to be about halfway down your eyes, and it's gonna extend to wherever the bottom of the cheekbones are, which are going to be like right here. So I'll go ahead and do that right there. This person's cheekbones are pretty high, like high and thin kind of. So yeah, then they sort of have this little contour going. See, there's some funny business going on right here with the brows. And then they got their big old head. They got their big old head. Oh my goodness. Wait. Chat. Do you have a big head? Does anyone in chat here have a big head, or do you know anyone with a really big head? I've met some people with big heads. I would say I have a big head. Have I been camping it this summer? No, I'm scared to actually because it's so hot out, and I'm quite frankly I'm afraid of bugs. I'm afraid of bugs. um, I want to go. I really do want to go. I think we're trying to plan something, so I'll keep all y'all updated on such a thing, if that does happen. But so far, no, nothing has been happening. One of my friends that I normally go camping with, he is currently at Glacier National Park. So congratulations to him. Bummer for me because he's not able to go camping or do anything. He's there until September. Yeah, which is great. So okay, so here's the thing that I'm trying to parse out right now when I'm drawing this skull right here. Maybe I just screwed up the proportions a bit. Normally, like you have your brow line right here, correct? You have your brow line, the nose. I think I just screwed up the I just screwed up the proportions here, so don't take anything I'm doing with a absolute certainty. That this should be, you know what? I have an eraser. Why am I doing this? I can just erase it. been camping, been uh you haven't been camping, but you've been to Archons and Zion. You're lucky. I, I've never been to those I've never been to those parks. I would really love to. They do seem like a blast. I see pictures of them. Um, but you know what? You enjoying the outdoors don't need to go. Don't need to be camping. You know what I mean? Um, so that's fine. I'd say that's fine. Maybe this person just has like a really big jaw. That's why it's like throwing me off here. And then you have like your mandibles that come from down here. This is gonna be the jaw. And then your jaw, this person has a very square jaw. They got this thing going on right here. There are some really cool national parks here in Tennessee, but you know, once you see like a waterfall once or twice, um, you know, it's like they're nice and all. Wait, I'm speaking from a place of privilege. Um, they're all right. They're just all right. See, here's the thing with like the bottom, like your chin and jaw section, is that it's always surprisingly what's the word? It's surprisingly like pointy and sharp. And you'll see it from a 3/4 view. Your chin juts out a lot down here. It's kind of weird, honestly. That's my assessment from today. It's kind of odd, kind of weird. And of course, you get the teeth here. Skulls. Okay, we're gonna go over that with we're gonna do a brush pen here today, because why not? Also, just know whenever I'm doing anything here, I'm not necessarily looking for 100% accuracy. Though I will say I am looking for proportion. That's what I'm trying to get here, so uh, that's a cop-out on my end. That's what I'm trying to say. Sometimes skulls can have like a very like weird like sort of look whenever you get into like the little like cracks and bumps everywhere. I want to use a mixture of sort of like angles and curves here. Uh, I've seen some people, they say like whenever you don't need to get like every contour perfect, but you do want to sort of you want to highlight sort of the natural the natural like directions of things in an exaggerated way. What I want to try and do here. And of course, if I were doing this digitally, I could do it in a more uh, in a clean way. Teeth are hard. How many teeth does a normal human have? Something like what is it, like 32? This skeleton's got some sass. I feel like an eyebrow thing going on right here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Boom. First skull down. Do a big erase here. Not a very impressive looking fella, but we can make up for that with we'll dry brush him with this right here. We'll say that our light source is coming from up here, so that means that sort of this whole section right here will be catching some shadow. Same with this whole bit under here. Probably like that. With the emphasize that the chin sort of jumps out right there. Of course, right there. There's a bit of like a dip right there, let's say. So I do see there's a bit of a shadow right there as well. This is a very dry brush. You like co-working as your best skull in a minute. That's good. This is probably my worst skull. Compare that to some of these skulls right here. What is that? Okay. I'll give you, if you're still drawing that, I'll give you another minute while I search for the next reference image. I'm gonna try and find something with like a 3/4 view, I think. Jeez, that brush did not do good on this paper right here. Maybe it's too dry. Yikes. Yikes, that's fine. Let's pull up. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna be switching over the screenshot. Now. Boom! Found it. Perfect. I don't think this is an actual skull. This looks like a 3D rendering of a skull, but it seems accurate. It looks accurate enough to me, I think. So we're gonna be doing this one next. Maybe I'll do it a bit larger right here. I'm gonna try and be a bit better with the proportions, I hope. So this is roughly how big the cranium is gonna be. And the brow line seems to be there. That's more like there. And then center line seems to be right about there. You know? Okay, start blocking out now. So one thing I heard someone say is that if you take the halfway point between the bottom of the nose, I guess that would be like right there. I guess this is tilted up. That should be like the bottom of your eye socket, I'm pretty sure. Forget, this is completely unfounded, but it would make sense. You know? It would make sense. Hmm. This is probably an endeavor that would probably be easier for me if I did have formal education. Just because like this is such a difficult subject matter as far as like proportions and whatnot are concerned. My big thing is I just need to read more books, I think. Outer Wilds OST? Yes, it is the Outer Wilds OST. I'm glad that we have someone who's able to recognize it. Thank you. I love Outer Wilds. I listen to the soundtrack probably once a day, if not more. The Echoes of the Eye soundtrack is also super fantastic. Here's like the brow ridge, which seems to be having this little thing going on. The brow ridge sort of juts out, which points to me this is probably a masculine skull, because apparently men will have a larger brow ridge technically. Sort of the back of that cranium jutted out a bit. Bring it down and around. And we got these big old cheekbones. I'll draw a line here just so they match up on the other side. Got this. You got this, I believe this is the occipital bone that comes from the cheekbone. So it comes down to the side, down here. I sort of got it. And the teeth sort of, they have this horse thing going on, where it sort of juts out a little bit. It seems like the falls like right about there, so that needs to be a bit more up there, I'd say. Yeah, and then the bottom row of the teeth sort of sit in a little bit. See, here's what where I run into my issue with sort of doing this Loomis head thing always, is that like, I don't know what it is. Okay, I see what it is. Now I'm drawing some of these features too big. This is good though. This is good for learning. I feel like I need to just, because we have the bottom of those there. Chin should be roughly right there, so maybe I should just go ahead and, because I know we got the chin right there. Bottom part. Skull is gonna fall like roughly right there. That bit of the jaw, and then you have the mandible right here, lower mandible. It comes in like that. So a little development that's been going on with this wonderful little life of mine. I've been playing Death Stranding 2 that recently came out. Uh, and let me just say, I'm having a world of fun playing me some Death Stranding, uh, too. Kojima has once again crafted an amazing game, and I don't know how he does it. See what I mean though about the jaw sort of jutting out right here? It's kind of odd. Of course, I had to pick one of the drawings where the head is like tilted back slightly, so it's gonna wonk up the proportions ever so slightly. Yeah. One thing that's interesting about the skull here too is that it's like when you're looking at it from a 3/4 view, the sockets don't always like form like a neat little connection. So it's like you don't need to draw a perfect outline for them. Sort of like has like this like spiral sort of shape almost, which I find pretty neat. This is one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack. I'm not gonna spoil it, but this happens during a very pivotal point in the game, and sort of it's a nice little musical. It's a nice little musical bit. This game has a very special soundtrack. I think it's I know nothing about music, sonically speaking. Like music theory is something that eludes me completely, but I can recognize good music and its effect on stories and such. So this one has a little special place in my heart. I've seen some people they'll like do a little like line for the side plane of the head by like doing like a little circle that comes from the brow ridge right here, sort of like curves upwards. It's interesting. It's not actually there, of course, but it's a cool indication of a side plane. Of course, the head has a lot of weird bumps and grooves when you get to its more unsightly angles. Just the one thing I don't like about teeth is that they're just pain in the ass to draw. Like that, because I you always like run the risk. It's like, okay, too much detail, not enough detail, you know. Like I wish I was painting because I could just block all this into like little colors. You know, teeth are your favorite part. Just indicate for days. Yeah, like I always I do the thing where I like just like draw in where I just like draw in each individual too. So I'm like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I still end up doing it. I guess that's one of the things whenever you're working with pen, like where I've like sort of like shot myself in the foot whenever I'm like doing the kind of art that I want to do. It's that uh when you're working with pen, you're working with like just lines, obviously, so it can be very, 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 very difficult to sort of do soft edges and transitions. Um, this is coming from a non-skilled individual. But the angle can definitely get weird quick. Yeah, especially if the jaw is open. One thing, we'll do a couple skulls with like open jaws. Whenever you have like an open jaw, the angle of the teeth can change because your jaw hinges. It doesn't move up and down. But that's a fun thing to consider, and it's one thing that can sort of like enhance the believability of the pose of the face as well. Skeleton. A scary skeleton. That's one thing I will get better at, and I guess it's one thing that you'll have to do whenever like you're working with like drawing or pens, I guess, is just like planning out where your shadows are going to be beforehand so you don't have to do outlines, which I could have done here technically, but you know. That. We'll show that the skull has some roundness to it. Alright. That's a skull in 3/4 view. The thing I do like is that whenever your nose sort of like bridges out right here, there's like this little crease that gets formed. I don't know what you would call such a crease, but it's there. It's definitely there. Maybe that can be something I can read up on later. It's like, oh, maybe I should put a name to sort of these things that I'm drawing. Maybe that would actually be a good idea. Boom, skull. Oh, boom, moved my camera. Yikes. Ouch. I should have done the proportion better on that. That's my bad. Here's an interesting one. Have I thought of having a Discord server? Okay. This is gonna sound weird. I've never understood the having a Discord server thing. I'm in Discords. I'm in Discords with like my friends where we like talk and chat and hang out. And I know that creators will have their own Discord servers, but like I don't understand what people do in those Discord servers. This isn't me being like I think it's pointless, because like I am interested in such a thing. I just I am not sure, like, is it for chatting, or is it for like sharing images? Like, what is it, like, what can you do in a Discord server? Because I mean, I'll make one. I will make one. I just no, this is just me like showing like how like no matter how much like I just won't get technology for certain things, just to share their art in progress. Like I would post skulls or doing it. I should do that. How about this? How about this? After stream today, I'll look into that, and then if I do if I if I make one, I will put it in YouTube, the YouTube posts, for the link to join the Discord, and then that would be so cool. Wait, I'm thinking we could do not like art critiques, but like we could do if we're doing like draw alongs, I can be like, okay, now post like what you did in the Discord, and we'll look at them. That could be fun. I think that could be a lot of fun, actually. So yes, Habes, I will look into that. Thank you. Okay. Should I be more silly with this one? Should I just try and like get the shapes down? We're gonna be very loose with this one. How about that? So so I know we're looking at this from like a lower angle, so sort of show the sphere is sort of cut off right there. Then we got a big old head. Yeah, and then we got a, I know that there's like a little like thing with a like brow line right here where it sort of goes in and sort of curves out. I'm gonna show that right there. Yeah. There would be the jaw. And then it sort of does this little horseshoe shape. What an interesting and loving, and not loving, peculiar shape. I don't know what I meant by loving. What a lovely shape. A loving shape. Mandibles. It seems to the trajectory seems to follow from over there, which means I need to expand the shape of them just slightly. Skulls are so weird, man. Like, can you believe you got one of these things living inside you? Like, right now? And your jaw sort of, like, inserts into the, like, below your cheekbone. It sort of, like, guards it, almost. Teeth. Wow. I think it would be really cool. Like I have anatomy books, but I think it would be really cool to just take like a drawing anatomy class, because like I feel like there's only so much you can learn from books, you know. Like I don't know. I feel like I could learn a thing or two. It seems like there's not a lot of places where you're gonna get like occlusion shadows on a skull. There really aren't that many hard edges. Uh, we'll make our own hard edges, of course, but just I could keep that in mind as we're going. Is that hard edges on a skull not always gonna be prevalent? It seems, which is a good way to think about it for if you're like looking at a face. Is that you can separate the face and the planes, sure, but like you're never really gonna have a lot of hard edges, so you can sort of do a lot of smoothing along with it. You know, I don't think it'd be really cool if they made like a fountain pen that had like a dual nib. You know what I mean? Like two nibs that were like side by side almost. I think that would be really cool. I don't know how that would work, obviously. I think that would be really dope. So you could sort of like get this like double line effect, but have it be um, a bit more even. So you don't have to do two strokes every single time you want something like that to happen. I didn't even do the top of the skull here. That's a skull if I've ever seen it in my entire life. Boom. If anyone cares, I know that there have been some people who said I need to play Life is Strange, the video game. I have not played Life is Strange, but my brother on his YouTube channel has streamed it, and I've been watching him play it. So in essence, I have pretty much played the game. That's how it works, right? Um, but I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna plug his channel right now. If you'd be interested in watching my silly brother play video games, his name is Chemical Green Zero, and you can find him on Twitch and YouTube. Chemical Green Zero. He has some really funny videos, and I think he deserves a lot more views than I do, because he is putting in an incredible amount of work into his channel, and I just know that there's going to be a point in time where his channel gets so much more expansive than mine, and I hope, and he deserves it. So go check him out at Chemical Green Zero. He's gonna be playing Banjo-Kazooie next, I believe, and you can catch me watching his streams because I like to put them on in the background while I'm drawing. Boom. Skulls. Okay. I'm liking this one. This one I'm going to pull up next. It seems as if it's from someone who has one of those tiny little skull things. So I've taken a photo of it, and it doesn't look like an actual skull. Like a real life skull. You can tell because the teeth, they look oddly shiny. Unless it is a real skull and someone's just like, I don't know, what did they do? Yeah. Okay. Because the skull is looking up, this little ridge for the nose is raised a bit higher than it would be if it were just like lower. Than if we were doing like just a head-on shot. Or cheekbones. Hmm. I seem to have messed up again. See, the issue. The issue with like proportions. Proportions are just so freaking weird. Okay, I see what I did. I just screwed up with that right there. This should be the teeth. So many holes in the skull too. You know? Like resting on the back of their skull, so it like goes down back here, more or less. So the skull looks sad. Yawn. I don't mean yawn from this. I am having fun doing this. I mean just yawn. It's been a really long day. Um, it is very hot where I live. I'm from Tennessee, from the deep south. Not the deep, deep south, but you know what I mean. It's been so incredibly hot here. We just got out of a heat wave, and it's been next to impossible to be outside for any length of time. Somehow I'm still alive. And there's a bug flying around on me. Gross. We're just gonna do some squiggly lines for the teeth there. It's hot in UT, but at least it's dry. Yeah, see, that's the one thing. I used to live in California, and that's like the one thing I miss about SoCal is just the the dry heat. Um, it was nice. Here, it's just like wet. Like no matter where you go, it's just like it's like it's a wet heat. You can't escape it anywhere. Um, been going swimming a lot though. That's been a good way that I've been able to combat it. Swimming is one of my, if not my favorite forms of cardio. I absolutely love swimming. I'm not a good swimmer. Like I can swim. I can't. I'm not a fast swimmer. But damn if that doesn't stop me from wanting to get out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much fun. I feel like I belong in the water, you know? Another thing, if you're ever struggling with any sort of a, what's the word? Any issues, any maladies of the back or the wrist or of the body, swimming has helped me a lot. This is anecdotal, of course, but swimming has seriously helped me manage my pain a ton. I was having really bad back pain, probably like pretty much a year ago, and I will say swimming has tremendously helped me recover in ways that I couldn't do on at home. So we're gonna give the dub to swimming this week, obviously. Like I need to find like better ways that I can utilize like my line art to do some form stuff, you know? Like maybe it's like some cross contouring, but I don't want to do too much detail. You know, there's always something to be said about having too much detail in your art. So too much distracting detail. And there are ways to have a lot of detail, of course, but like, you know, I don't want to have like too much like distracting detail. Maybe that's just a cope. That's just a cope for me. Not being able to draw detail very well. But I'm gonna think about something to snack on in the brain noggin. Because I like doing this and I just love ruining all of my drawings, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna just put some marker on this because why not? Kind of just doing shadows. That's what this marker is trying to accomplish. There's shadows in there. On. Press go. Okay. We're not done with the stream. That's not what I meant by that. Okay, but I'm saying okay for this page right here. I don't want to fill up this page too much. I know my sketch. I'm known for my sketchbook density. That's like my iconic thing, you know. It's cramming as much as I can onto one damn page. But this is just this page right here. I like these pink markers a lot. I need to use them more often. I have been using them for like skies and stuff whenever I do sort of those sorts of things. I need to do it more though. So they're fun. Just a little pop, little pops of color here and there. I like working in black and white, don't get me wrong, but sometimes like having like one accent color other than black or white can be good. Even if the accent color is gray. I know that's a kind of like a cop-out. That's a cheating way to look at it. But I like having just like a little bit of something else there. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's that page right there. Let's pull on to the next page. I'm sorry that I'm not able to offer, like, with my perspective stream, I was able to sort of, like, talk a bit more, because, like, I knew a bit more, like, theory-wise about perspective. I know nothing theory-wise about anatomy, other than, like, the bare minimum, because I do just draw from observation a lot more than not. Let's say the 28th. Tippy tap, tippy tappy, tip tap. Okay. We're gonna find our next skull here. Oh. Whoa, some of these people have been very generous in providing reference images of their own little skulls. Thank you, people that I've never met before. The internet truly is an amazing place. Case in point. Boom. There we go. We're gonna be doing some real skull type drawing. Yeah, I'll zoom in the camera a little bit more for you. Whoever this person's skull is based on, they got a really, like, front-facing jaw. Here's the thing that you can see whenever you're doing a 3/4 of a skeleton like this. You can see sort of that, you can sort of see that there's like there's like two wedges that are sort of like cut out of the skull, so you sort of get this little shape. You go boom, boom. Is that focusing? Is that focusing enough? You're gonna try to do a continuous line one on this one for funsies? Heck yeah. Sometimes I like doing the continuous line thing, just like because that can be really good for paying attention to like a contour and stuff. So it's a really good idea. I need to emphasize the overlap here a bit more. Like that. I'm not going for complete accuracy on this again. I'm going for like vibes of like the skull and the angle, of course. I find for the skull, it's maybe it's not the best to like try and like get it all one for one, because like that's like really difficult to do, and we're not studying the skull to like do the skull, you know what I mean? We're studying the skull as a sort of like a base level thing, because like once you pay like what we're trying to do is we're trying to like pay attention to like the skull, and like all of its sort of ins and outs and bits and bobs. So like don't try and get it all completely accurate. What we're trying to do here is we're really trying to sort of just like get ourselves familiarized with the structure underneath. I think it's a good way of looking at it. Okay. And the skull sort of open, so we have to sort of we're gonna do a bit of eyeballing here. The jaw is still like down here, it seems, sort of facing that way. And because the jaw is tilting this way, we're sort of like going that way. That's gonna make the normal angled jawline sort of like be a bit more straight, which is what we're seeing here. So it still connects there, but it's more straight down. And this bottom bit, normally it's like angled down a bit, it's going to be a bit more angled down than usual. So this is kind of the shape we're looking at here. We're gonna switch playlists. We're still gonna be listening to Outer Wilds, but we're gonna be listening to the DLC soundtrack next, which I think is really good. Very good soundtrack. So this is sort of the general shape that we got with like the bottom jaw right here. It's like you got this like boxy thing going on. So here's what you were like talking about, Habes, which I think is very important to sort of bring up here, is like when you're talking about doing angles with the teeth, whenever you're because your jaw hinges downwards, your top does not move whatsoever. But when your bottom jaw hinges down, think of it as if we're like like if this right here, this is a really bad example, but like if like this is like your bottom teeth, this is a really bad a really bad thing. So like this is your top row teeth and there's the bottom row teeth. Your mouth doesn't move like this. You don't go rah rah rah. It goes it like sort of tilts outwards. But because of that, you're able to see more of the top. You know what I mean? So it's like your teeth don't stay flat. They become more three-dimensional, and you start to see the curvature of the jaw here, which we're seeing with this. Which it seems like this jaw flares out a little bit more. So. Like that. Don't want it too big. Okay. The focus for this is being atrocious right now. I apologize to anyone who's watching who actually want to see what's going on. It's wanting to focus on my fingers more than it is on the actual on the skull. There's some funny business going on with the jaw down here, I will say, because we don't have the cheekbone necessarily covering the where the connection of the lower, like the mandibles are, so it's kind of a weird seeing how it all connects. I guess it's something akin to that. Back, like the back of the jaw, right there. It's a little blocky, but if it helps reinforce the shape in my head, I'm fine with that. He's like, ah. That would be what my face would look like too if I saw a skeleton, or if I were a skeleton and I saw myself in the mirror. Have I read or watched Murderbot? I want to do both, but I haven't. No, Murderbot. I'm not familiar with that. What's Murderbot? No, I haven't. I don't think I've heard of this before. Oh, it's airing currently. What's it airing on? I'm looking. Oh, David Destimation's in it. Oh, and Alexander Skarsgård. Interesting. No. Is this oh, it's Apple Plus. That's why I haven't heard of it. I just don't have Apple Plus. A rogue security robot gains free will. That's interesting. Like how it says action, comedy, science fiction. That's so interesting. It's on Apple. Yeah, I need to get Apple so I can watch them. I want to watch Severance. I haven't seen Severance. Um, a media-obsessed private security cyber calling itself a murder bot must hide its newly acquired autonomy while completing dangerous assignments and being simultaneously drawn to humans and appalled at their weakness. It sounds so interesting. Whoa. It's based on All Systems Red. The Murderbot Diaries. It's a 2017 science fiction novella by Martha Wells. It was published on Tor.com. Oh, published by Tor.com. Its diary calls itself Murderbot. It's developed independence from a notable program over its governing unit. First watching soap operas over its security function. Severance, yes, Apple has a lot of good shows. It seems like everywhere has really everywhere either has like really good shows or like really awful shows. And that's very reductive. Actually, that's not even a claim on behalf. I don't even know why I made that claim. I'm sorry. Yes, you are correct. I really want to watch all these shows. Like The Bear. Like I haven't seen The Bear. I want to watch The Bear. At some point, I want to watch Severance. Obviously, I don't know. I'm an American boy who has not seen Severance. I've seen clips of Severance. Like there's some like fancy camera shots that have been used. And I'm interested. And whenever I do get Apple TV, I will do it. Silo, For All Mankind, and Severance, top 3 for you from Apple. Yeah, there are too many good shows. I've heard of Silo, and I've heard of Severance. I have not heard of For All Mankind. Plus rewatches. You watched FMA Brotherhood, still great. Oh my goodness, you're gonna hate me. I've never seen Full Metal Alchemist. I've never seen Full Metal Alchemist. Again, it's on my radar, and I'm going to watch it. I'm caught up in One Piece right now, so that's just been like occupying so much of my like anime watching time. You thought it was a real one? Wait, how can I regain my real one status? How can I regain my real one status? No, I know I mean, okay. I know about a lot of anime. Yeah, too many shows. Too many good shows, which is not a bad thing, but it's the same thing with like games that I want to play. It's like I know so many of these games, and like I have them all on my radar. When I get around to playing them, it's gonna be a really good time. Same thing with all these shows. I will say, watching One Piece, it's nice. I do need to find another show to watch alongside of it because the One Piece grind is getting a little tedious, and I feel like I need something to sort of distract myself from it. So maybe I will get Apple TV Plus to watch some other stuff. Big Brother, if you're familiar with that TV show, is about to start airing here really soon, so I'll probably be watching that weekly. But as for the rest, I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think of other things that I want to watch. I'm in the process. I'm really bad about rewatching, replaying, rereading stuff. So currently, I am rereading Moby Dick, and then after that, I'm probably gonna reread Catch 22 or something similar. I recently replayed The Last Guardian for a video, so there was that. I I like I don't know. I do watch a lot of new things, but sometimes it gets like really hard to like watch a lot of new stuff. So I kind of just like follow on the tried and true things that I know I like. Like I really want to rewatch Neon Genesis Evangelion again here soon because it's been a while since I've seen that series all the way through. Fantastic show. Cowboy Bebop, I need to go back and give it a rewatch. Also, like once a year, I rewatch a lot of Ghibli movies, so I'm probably gonna do that. Watch Princess Mononoke here soon. But yeah, I will keep these shows. I trust your recommendation, Habes, because it seems like we have similar tastes when it comes to media. So I will keep your suggestions in mind when I'm figuring out what I'm gonna watch next. I'm sure I could get a a trial for Apple TV. I could watch some stuff on there really quick. I know I said I don't like binge watching stuff, but I'll binge watch it. Trying to find some interesting angles. You know, this isn't an interesting angle, but we haven't done a portrait angle anytime. It's been a minute. Severance is good to watch several at a time. It's good to watch several shows at the same time as Severance? Oh, it's a bit slow moving, hard to sit and stop. Gotcha. I don't mind a slow-paced. Like, I don't mind a slow-paced show. I like slow pacing if it's intentional. No, it's okay. Yeah, pacing is one of those things like where like I'm very finicky about it. Sometimes it can be really hard to like find like have like a fine line of like where it's like done well and where it's not done well. But like slow pacing can be good if it's intent. Ugh, I can't like why am I stuttering? It's not even like a stutter. I don't know what I'm saying. Really, I I like some really slow moving shows. Um, and I like some like really slow movies, but not all of them. It has to justify it, you know. Like pacing has to be justified, and if you can justify some nice slow pacing, I mean, I'm all for it, honestly. Mad Men is a top show for you. Oh my goodness, Habes. I haven't seen Mad Men. I know what Mad Men is. I haven't seen Mad Men. I'm sorry. Wait, I've seen Breaking Bad. Does that count? I heard that if you brought up that you've seen Breaking Bad to people, they automatically forgive you for not having seen. It's like, well, at least have you seen Breaking Bad? I've seen Breaking Bad. You know what? I haven't seen. I have not seen Better Call Saul. Wait. What? I don't know. If you keep on listing, if you keep on listing TV shows, you'll find one that I've seen. Trust me. What's the most recent TV show that I watched? The most recent thing that I watched from beginning to end was you haven't finished Better Call Saul? Well, I haven't started it, so you got time. We'll do a watch, like a, be like, okay, I'm watching this episode this week. Come back next week, and we'll talk about the episode. um, the last show that I watched was Andor on Disney Plus, Star Wars show. I hate Star Wars. I really do hate Star Wars, and by that I mean I like Star Wars, and I like the movies a lot. But I can recognize that I'm not special, that I grew up on Star Wars. So with me being able to move past that, I I like Star Wars, but I hate the people that like Star Wars, if that makes any sense. So it just makes it very hard to. Hate's a strong word. It makes it very hard to sort of like enjoy the sorts of things when it's like you have so many people who just like love to argue about literally everything. even though I can be very negative a lot of the time. Andor was very good though. Fantastic show. Tony Gilroy, obviously the writer of the Jason Bourne, some of the Jason Bourne movies, not all of them. Or no, he wrote the first 3, wrote and directed the 5th one. Andor is just incredible. Elevates you to real-time 1 status if you love Andor and hate Star Wars. Well, you're in for a treat because I really hate Star Wars. I don't know. Andor for me was just like that one show where like I tell everybody they need to watch it, and nobody that I know watches it. And I'm so mad because I'm like, listen, dude, you are missing out on like such an amazing show. And they're like, no, but Star Wars sucks. I'm like, yes, Star Wars does suck, but you should try watching Andor. Seriously. That show is like amazing. I won't say the second season is not perfect as far as like there's an episode or 2 that I feel like could have been removed and the final effect still would have been the same. Regardless, still such a good show from beginning to end. It's great whenever writers don't treat their audiences like they're idiots. You know what I mean? It's like let's have some scenes with characters, and like maybe the characters don't always need to say what they're thinking at all times. I tried, but could it get into it? I've heard that so many times from like so many people that I recommend things to. Like, yeah, like, well, I really, really like I wanted to get into it, but you know, I just couldn't. And that's fair because I guess I do the same thing with a lot of people. So like, you know, taste of my own medicine, I guess, but I have to tell them, I'd be like, no, listen, but like for real this time, the show is really good. Another show that I watched that I enjoyed quite a bit was Shogun. That was a while back though. No, it wasn't like a year ago, but like it's nearing a year. That was a fantastic show. I'm a sucker for sort of like the feudal Japan samurai type storytelling. If that makes me a weeb, whatever. I'm reading Vagabond now, obviously, so I must be some sort of a weeb. But no, I really like that sort of feudal Japan setting. I think it's so foreign to life in America. I don't mean that in like sort of like, oh, it's so exotic sort of way. I just think that there's some stories there that aren't very equipped for the Western United States. So I really enjoyed that show for offering me something new. I'm trying to think of other shows that I've watched. I have in 100 Years of Solitude. Yeah, I really need to watch that as well. 100 Years of Solitude is based on, oh my goodness, based on a book, isn't it? Is it it's, oh my goodness, is it, it's not, who's the author? Isn't it the author of the Kite Runner? Or am I just like completely thinking of something else? Also 100 Years of Solitude. Or is it, oh, it's Gabriel Garcia Marquez. I know who Gabriel, I've read Chronicle of a Death Foretold and A Very Old Man with a very old man with enormous wings, I think. Yeah, okay. I have heard of this before. I've heard of the book. I've heard of the TV show, but I have heard of the book as well. That's interesting. I think Chronicle of a Death Foretold, which is another book by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, would be an amazing movie because it's sort of like told non-linearly. This is something that would be like up my alley, though. It's a 1967 novel. That's interesting. Gabriel Garcia Marquez has a very interesting writing style. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite writing style, but I think he's a good storyteller. Like I think like the emphasis on him like being like a storyteller. Because his stories are always like they're definitely unique in a lot of ways, and they sort of they talk about a culture that I am not too familiar with. I know he sort of like deals in, like a lot with like concepts of like masculinity versus femininity, like machismo type characters. You're the one who was also an English major. It was interesting to see your video about the books that you read for yours. Oh, I didn't know you were. Maybe you did tell me you were an English major before, but if you haven't told me before, this is really hype. That's awesome. Thank you for watching that video too. I guess his books are a bit of a slog, but the symbolism and prose are really good. I did read Chronicle of a Death Foretold in high school. So maybe my taste in what I find acceptable to be interesting / not interesting, maybe if I were to reread it now. I remember not loving it. There were a couple other novels that I read that year that I enjoyed infinitely more. I read Natsume Soseki's Kokoro. I read The Stranger by Albert Camus. I read what else did I read? The Kite Runner by, still can't remember the gent's name. What else did I read that year? What else did I read that year? There was one other novel that we read that I really just cannot put my finger on. Love The Stranger. I like The Stranger too. I own it in French and I own it in English. I like Camus and I like existentialism quite a bit. The Stranger, I found the plot to be very. I liked the philosophy of Camus. Maybe the narrative wasn't my favorite, but I definitely liked digging into the philosophy of it all. It was sort of my first introduction to absurdism. Metamorphosis. No, I have not read Metamorphosis. That's it's on my list. Oh my god, if you could see my I have a lot of books purchased that I need to read also. along with everything else. No, I have not read Metamorphosis. I don't own it. So as far as backlogs go, I probably won't get to it unless I end up buying it at some point. I'm trying to read through all the things that I own first. And of course, like I decided that like, oh, I'm going to read all the things that I already own again, because why not? Actually, I have a friend that I'm reading Moby Dick with. It's his first time reading it, and so I'm sort of acting as a guide for literary study for him, and it's been a lot of fun because it's interesting to see someone's interpretation, someone who is not like doesn't have like the English major brain turned on constantly, you know. So that's always been a very fun experience with him, at the very least. I really want to. I don't. You've probably heard of it before. If we're talking about like themes of like existentialism, maybe not postmodernism. We weren't talking about postmodernism, but this is sort of like falls in that postmodern category. House of Leaves. If you've heard of House of Leaves, I own that, and I really want to read that. I bought it and I started reading it, and then just because of like school and everything, I wasn't able to get around to it, to the rest of it. But House of Leaves, I really want to read sometime. Maybe not sometime incredibly soon. But I want to read it at some point. Haven't heard of that one? Oh, you should look into it. It's a doozy of a book. There's a physical version and it is massive. It has pages and pages and pages that are just nonsense, and it has like three narratives that are going on at the same time, and they're all like very meta, and they get more meta as you like delve into like each of the narratives. It's very layered. It's about a dude who finds the writings of a man who found a VHS of a family. In this family, they found a strange phenomenon, that their house is like 1 inch bigger on the inside uh, than should be physically possible, like than on the outside. Such an interesting concept, and sort of it's a it has it has a lot of creepy sort of. People say that it's like it's not scary in the sort of like jump scare sense, but it's one that like makes you think about sort of like the meaning of things. And I'm all for sort of like, it sort of falls into that, even though it's like purely descriptive, it falls into that sort of like liminal space category, um that I like totally dig. And the book is amazing. It's amazingly printed. So I'd recommend it. Uh, I don't have it up here with me. Unfortunately, I'm too lazy to go and grab it myself. But yeah, House of Leaves. Check that one out. Um, there is an adaptation of House of Leaves, but it's not a movie, and it's not um, it's not a traditional video game. It's actually a mod for like OG retro Doom. It's called My House, and it's it's not a one for one of the book, but it's heavily inspired by it, and a lot of people have said it's like one of the most faithful interpretations of the novel. Oh, can I go back for 10 seconds? I'm sorry. I wasn't. I should have asked. I should have asked. Which one were we doing? Yeah, there you go. That's fine because I have I have this one pulled up right here. I'm gonna make this my last sketch of the night, so I'm gonna do it really big on the paper here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the rough on that while you just let me know when you're done, so I can switch so you can get started on the other one. If you want to get started on the other one, I'm gonna force you to. You're done? Oh, that was really quick. Okay. Yeah, this will be the last one for the night, because I have been streaming for 2 hours 11 minutes now. I don't want this to be incredibly long, not just for myself, but for those watching. I don't want to tire anyone out with my yapping. Wait, Habes. So, if you done been doing the whole English major trek, what is your favorite book? I'm not gonna say book, book, poem, or collection of poems, or if you can't pick a favorite with that, because I understand picking favorites is hard. Do you have a favorite author? I'm interested to see what some people have to say with their stuff, because like I've got my favorites obviously, but I'm very biased. I'm very biased towards like classical literature and male writers, but that's just me. Not that I don't like things that fall outside of that genre. Like I really love Jane Eyre. That's something that's like completely out of my comfort zone, being like a dude. But Jane Eyre, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic book. So you could say I'm a bit of a, you could say I'm a bit of a feminist. Lol. What? What? You just reread Jane Eyre. Good, not a favorite. Are you one of those folks who likes Pride and Prejudice more? Because if you are, no judging. I just don't care for Pride and Prejudice, but you know that already. You love Dickens. You love Steinbeck. Ew, Dickens. I was actually spared having to read Tale of Two Cities in high school just because of the class that I took. So I have read Dickens. I've read excerpts from Dickens. I've never read an entire work from Dickens, though. Interestingly enough, I can't remember. I can't remember the exact excerpt that I read from. I think I read some stuff from like A Christmas Carol for one, because I have like one of those like Norton anthologies where it sort of just has like bits and pieces from like tons of different authors. Oh, sorry. I'm trying to like get like a. He's so funny. See, I think a lot of people miss out on the humor that that a lot of authors, especially older authors, they can't they don't get the humor of it. You know what I mean? Like some of these books, some of this writing is incredibly funny. It's just I think some people just aren't tuned for it. You know, they don't get the what's the word? They don't have the eye for it. You know what I mean? Like when I'm reading Moby Dick. Okay, I'm gonna keep on talking about Moby Dick because that's very relevant right now. Belleville is like hilarious, but you know what? Some people just see like the whale stuff and they say no, no thanks, which I get, I guess. Same thing with have you ever read Joseph Heller's Catch 22? Like a lot of people were forced to read Catch 22. I love Catch 22. Catch 22 is like, such an amazing book. It's hilarious. That book is like actually like really really funny. It has like such an incredible wit to it. You love Catch 22? Yossarian is one of my favorite protagonists in like all of literature. I think he is just so fantastically he's so relatable. He's so relatable. And I think I wrote a paper on Major in college. I don't remember what I said exactly. I think like part of the thesis was sort of like talking about the sort of the absurdity of like the situations that they're placed in, sort of how that relates to like bureaucracy and whatnot. But some of my favorite characters in that book. I have another book by Joseph Heller. Don't remember what the name of it is, but I found it at a Goodwill, and I was like, oh, like I love Catch 22. I'll pick that up and I'll read it. Guess what? I have not read it. I have not read this book yet. Do I like Vonnegut? That is. Wait. Sorry if I'm. You like Brave New World a lot too? Okay. I have not read Slaughterhouse-Five, and I get this guy's name like butchered a lot. I have not read any of Vonnegut. I have a friend who has been reading some Vonnegut though. You like Brave New World a lot too. Don't even talk about Brave New World because that stupid ass new Captain America movie came out and used the title from that. Brave New World, it's like one of those I'm not talking about Captain America. But it's like one of those that sort of where it, like, predicted the future, you know? It reminds me of it's like 1984. I've not read Brave New World either, no, by the way. Le Meilleur des Mondes. There's a French edition? OMG! Is this one of like I like didn't like someone isn't there like a penny farthing? Didn't people like be like in this book being like in the future everyone's gonna have their own electric penny farthing? Or am I just like hallucinating that? I might just be hallucinating that. Like in the future, I'm gonna be able to ride my penny farthing as far as I could ever dream. Obviously, I've been trying to like read more comics too. I have a copy of V for Vendetta here. Well, I don't know if you've seen on my channel. I have a review of Marjan Satrapi's Persepolis, which I did not love, but I can respect. I can respect what it was going for. Definitely. I I have a copy of V for Vendetta here that I really want to get reading. So I have some more downstairs. I have this one called like Becoming Andy Warhol. Don't know what that's about. I just found it. I was like, oh, I'll read it. I'll get it to read. I've been in like a manga phase, though. Like, I don't know. It's just me being dumb. But like, actually, Japanese media is better than traditional Western media. One of the reasons I like manga so much, like, and this is such a stupid reason, is just because it like is oftentimes gonna be in black and white, and I just like black and white more. That's just like my bias when it comes to art, is like I would rather have black and white art than other arts. This isn't a neck, this is a box. You were curious because you love Slaughterhouse-Five, but I found it a bit too on the nose and lowbrow. You need to give it another try. That's what I've heard about Vonnegut, is that what my friend was saying is like his prose does tend to wean on being like overly like not prosaic, but like what's the word? Not prosaic. The style is like very revealing. Like apparently, like he will just flat out just like tell you things. Like, we get it, man. There's definitely like I'm okay. So like here's like the weird thing is like I generally like a lot of the things that I had to read for school. So it's like it's hard for me to sort of like have a lot of mean sort of negative things to say. Prosaic is a good way to describe it. I'm glad I could describe it in such a way. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to be harsh on literature. We're on a lot of things, or I don't know. I'm pretty harsh on a lot of things. I know that it's very hard to sort of like write stories, and so I can be a bit more forgiving when it comes to some things being quote unquote like bad. There is a line, obviously, but I do find that sometimes I don't know. I'm a little bit more forgiving, so I definitely I liked a lot of the things that I had to read for class, and of course I was like one of the very few people who actually um, did all of the reading. And that's not to toot my own horn, obviously. Um, that's just a truth. That's just a fact of the matter. I was a good student, okay? I speaking of like being prosaic, I've had multiple professors tell me that like my writing sucks, and that like I write like in essays I would write too prosaic. You know, they would like they would hit me with the like, oh, this is purple prose kind of deal, and that would like break me. You like to be positive, enjoy a good that's available. I guess you hold books that are lauded as the greatest all time to a higher standard. You know, that is true. You know what? You know what? That is completely valid. I also like say that like having never read it, so like I honestly I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't enjoy it because like from my friend who read it too, he said he didn't love it either. So like that's two people who I trust the opinion of. It's like, will I get around to reading it? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It is just one of those things where it's like there are only so many things that you can read in a lifetime. Like sometimes it's weird when you like get like cheated. Hello, Levins. I'm glad. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi. Sleep is more important than whatever I'm doing here. Obviously, you caught the tail end of the stream, also, so like don't worry about it. But thank you for stopping. I'm hoping you've been having a you're having a great week, and I hope you get a full 8 hours sleep. You know. Sorry that I picked the last skull to draw to be from such an odd angle. I wanted at least one to be from like facing away or just doing something, you know. Because while I don't necessarily love drawing things from this angle, it does help strengthen our awareness of the said 3D objects. You know what I'm saying? My question is, have you played Life is Strange 2 yet? No, 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 no. But I have been watching my brother play the first Life is Strange, and I think that that's progress. Um, if you're interested in watching him play, uh, I'll direct you over his channel. It's Chemical Green Zero. In his VODs, you'll probably catch me in the chat talking with him. I enjoyed. I didn't play the first game, but I mean, I was pretty much backseating the entire time. I did enjoy it more than I thought I would, if I'm being honest. So, um, I'll probably. He says he isn't gonna play the second one, so I might just play it myself sometime here soon. Well, maybe not too soon. I'm playing Death Stranding too currently, but I'll pick it up here at some point to play it. And Levins, I don't know if you're still here. I tried looking. I know you said you had like a music thing going on Instagram. And I don't have Instagram, so I tried searching for you just through like Google search, and I was unable to find you. So I apologize for that. I did try and look for your stuff, but I will just take your word that you make incredible music. You know. we tell that this is a skull looking the other way? Like if we're like looking on it. Because I can though, I'm biased because I'm the one drawing it. The one drawing it here. Yeah, I'm squinting. You definitely should play the second Life is Strange. You should get Death Stranding 2 ASAP. That Woodkid album is amazing. Oh my goodness, dude. I'm not going to spoil it in case you do play it sometime here soon. But the opening of the game features a rendition of a Woodkid track, and it is one of the most hype, immersive openings to any piece of media that I have consumed. I was absolutely floored with the opening of that game. I loved it so much, and I like Woodkid a lot too. So it's like it's not low roar, unfortunately, but that's like its old entire thing. But it's really good. It's really good. I'm glad that Kojima appreciates like having good music in his games. I was actually listening to some Woodkid earlier today because I've been playing the game, and I was like, oh, you know what? We're just gonna go through and like listen to a bunch of his stuff. But I will play Life is Strange 2. It's coming, don't worry. I should convince my brother to play. He says he wasn't planning on playing it. He says he wasn't too interested. He was really only interested in Max's story. But I don't know. I told him that you had recommended it on stream. So I was like, maybe you should play it. You make music under the name The Inner Eclipse. The Life is Strange inspired song is called Take a Ride. So if I Google that, if I Google you up here, will you pop up? He's missing out for real. He is missing out. Yours looks good. Mine looks like a creepy guy's side profile. Well, if you really think about it, a skeleton is a really creepy guy's side profile. If you Google it, it should pop up. I can't tell. So I have it pulled up on Apple Music here. Is the single cover, is it these like pine trees with the white text in the bottom that says The Inner Eclipse Take a Ride? I would imagine that's probably it, but I'm gonna Oh wait, how, bro, this is your profile picture. This is you. I just clicked on Google Images and you had popped up. So I know I'm in the right place. It is mountains. Yes. Heck yeah. Okay, I got that pulled up. I'll listen to that when I get off the streamer. Once I end the stream. Then you gotta tune in next week so I can tell you what I think of it. I'm gonna give you the full I'm gonna give you the full critique, even though I know nothing about music theory or like anything about music for that matter. Wait, I'll have my brother listen to it too. Wait, I'll send it to him after this, and I'll have him listen to it. And then next week, you better pop in, and I can tell you what he thought of it too. Because he would probably really, because he like is like fresh off the game. He would probably really You would probably really enjoy it. Don't want to go too crazy with the shadow. I fear that I already did slightly, but I'm gonna leave that there, I think. Obviously. Do that. I've seen some people say that, like, you know, I could draw the cranium as, I don't know, I do this a lot whenever I'm drawing, like, heads and stuff, too. You can draw the cranium to be completely smooth, but I like breaking it up into sort of, like, more linear chunks. I think that, like, has, like, a cooler visual language to it. Again, that could maybe, like, me coping for, like, not understanding contour well enough, or like not practicing like my line quality all that often, but I will say. Sick. Should we wait, chat? Should we ruin it? Wait, chat. Everyone watching, should I ruin this? We're gonna ruin this, okay. The first song I ever made is called Cachet, and it's a song that started all, it's more like a metal song. Ooh, I mean, I like some metal. I don't listen to a lot of metal, but I do like metal. I have a lot of friends that listen to a lot of hardcore music, so like I get sort of bits and snippets from them, and you know what? I can get down with it. I like me some Knocked Loose. I don't know if you've heard of Knocked Loose. I have a a Knocked Loose shirt. I saw Knocked Loose live, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Don't know a lot of their songs, but I've listened to them since. I didn't know a lot of their songs at the time when I went to go see them, but now I know some of their songs. It's your most popular song. Cash is your most popular song. Do you have, is that on? Wait, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Wait, I'm on your little thing here. Okay, sick. Yeah, take a ride. I can see your mind twigs. Exit without meaning. Ooh. Those are just their top songs, it says. Oh, wait, there's more. And there's more. Cash. Awesome. I will give a listen. I will give a listen to all of these. Are you on Spotify at all? Because if you're on Spotify, I can add you to a playlist, so I can like listen to you more frequently. You're listening to Take a Ride, Levins. 5,000 streams. Oh, so you are on Spotify. Ah. Habe says she's listening to Take a Ride. Very nice vibe. That's awesome. Wait, I'll look you up on Spotify here. $5,000 streams is really good. Oh yeah, you are here. Sick. Heck yeah. I'm gonna give you a follow. Yeah, almost hitting 5,000 streams. With Habe's listen there, you probably hit 5,000 streams. It's a joke. But baby, but what if? But what if? Again, I know I probably said this last time, but like anybody who like can make music, absolutely fantastic. See, I love music a lot. obviously, but like I know nothing about like music theory or like I know nothing about making music, so it seems like actual magic to me. So like I do like envy you that you're able to express yourself in that way, because I wish I could, but I just can't, and that's okay. You're excited to check out more. Wish I had music talent. Currently making a new song that's like noir vibe with some elements. Ooh, I like some noir stuff. That's sick. Well, I will keep an eye out for all that. I'll put some of your music on in the car, so when I'm riding with my girlfriend, I'll put it on. I'll be like, listen, this guy watches my streams, and then she'll be like, oh, okay. Wait, I'll give you I'll give a whenever she listens to it, I'll give you a rating of what she thinks as well. So that way, uh, wait, no, it's all you. You make music by yourself. That's awesome. Wait, actually, I'll get more. I'll drop your stuff in a group chat with a bunch of my friends, and I'll have them all listen to it. You mix. I mean, as long as like I can hear the music in the car, that's well mixed to me. You know, that's like my bar for entry of being well mixed. It's like, is it loud enough that I can hear it? I mean, all right. Hey, my car's got some good surround speakers. Yeah, it's got some good bass too. So this marker is running out of stuff like very quickly. But that's okay. There's like a vibe. We got a vibe going on here. You know, it looks a little rustic. Is it leaking onto the back page? Kinda, a little. If any of you uh know me, you know that I like to ruin a lot of my drawings with like marker and watercolor and stuff. So like this might fall in that camp where I'm just like, oh, what if I did this? It's like you didn't need to do that. Well, I just did it. The page looked a little too blank. You know what I'm saying? I'll just keep this around as a dry brush now. I'm guessing it's nice to have a dry brush, but I just gotta go slower. But I'm impatient, so this is not working. Okay. Okay. I might go through and add another square on this side at some point. We'll see. But okay. I'll pull out. No, wait. I'm so stupid. There would be black back here, wouldn't there? You wish you draw something for your cover. It's always it has to freak out yourself a pencil, like you said. You gotta try drawing something too. Thank you for your streams. Thanks to your stream. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. Um, I as far as like drawing stuff for people, I'm always really nervous that I'm open to it. I would be open to it. I'll just say that. I'd be open to it. I don't know. I feel like I sell myself short a lot, so I am afraid of drawing stuff for people and having it turn out to be not that good. So uh, I would be open to it at some point. What kind of pencil did you get? I can't remember exactly what pencil you said that you were getting. Or I guess if it's not like anything, you shouldn't stress about it too much, you know? Yeah. Well, it's an irrational thing. I get it. You know, it's like I definitely like I don't know. I'm a bad procrastinator, and I do stress out a lot, and I know I should. Like obviously, right? But just a regular one. Okay, is it an HB? Is it a I don't know. Is it just an HB? Or does it like or is it like a harder pencil like a 6H or like a 6B? Because like this one's like a 6H. This is a harder pencil. If it's an HB, that's completely fine. Actually, I mean like I don't know. I definitely started off I mean like a lot of people like you know you're in school, you have a pencil, so you sort of just like draw stuff with pencils. So like I definitely like I've drawn. I mean I still use pencils, obviously. Obviously, yeah. You're close about the stuff, but it looks like yours. Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Um. Oh, like, is it like actually like this, like this kind, like this pencil? Because this one right here, this one is a 6H. So that's like hardness. An HB is like your typical yellow pencil. So it would be it's like not hard and not soft. So it's like pretty in between. Like a hard pencil, like you need to push really hard to get dark. But like if you draw, you can draw really lightly with this and it'll barely show up on the page. Um, I typically lean towards harder pencils. I like 6H, like 6H, because I do a lot of erasing, so it's a lot easier to draw really light lines and erase them afterwards. It's just, it's just that's just a preference, though. I know people who like softer pencils. Pardon me. Excuse me. Well, if you do, you're a 6B girl. Do you really use a 6B? That's crazy. I could like personally, I could not imagine using a 6B. Lazy. You're too lazy for erasing. I mean, I don't know. I've been getting really lazy with the erasing, like on these right here. Like I haven't been erasing uh as much. Another thing is that this paper here, or a lot of the papers that I use, don't really hold pencil all that well. So like smudging, like I have to worry about that. Again, that's a personal preference thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Are we done here, Hibbs? Is it all right if I take Senor Skelly Bones off the screen here? Usually go straight pen or dark pencil. Occasionally use an H if you want to be serious. Yeah, if you need to lock it in, that's where the H comes out. Yeah, you're good. Okay, sick. One thing with this sketchbook is I haven't been doing a lot of freehand sketches as much as at all, really, actually. Now that I think about it. I don't think I've been doing a lot of freehand sketches. That's mainly because, like, I don't know, I feel like using the pencil I'm able to, like, be a bit more, what's the word? Like, certain about the lines that I'm going to be putting down, but I don't know. Maybe next sketchbook I'll try and, like, do more freehand stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you said you were going to make a video about The Last of Us show. Did you dream that? No, well, Yes and no. So no, you didn't dream anything. I think I'm probably gonna do a stream where I sort of talk about it instead of like a full edited video, mainly because I don't know. As far as like edited content goes, maybe I don't know if yeah, let's roast it. No, seriously, whenever I do the stream for it, I have a lot of really bad things to say about it. You haven't seen it? Oh, well, you should watch it just so you can get context for it. I'll probably do a stream where I talk about it, and of course it'll be a directed stream. Like I'll have notes and stuff, and I'll like have clips and stuff to pull up. But I don't know, something like that. I feel like I can rant about it, and articulate it well in the moment. But if I were to put it to a script, it would probably come across as kind of forced. So I'm not sure. You would love to hear my thoughts about it? Heck, man, I might have to. Everyone that I've been talking with about it hasn't seemed that interested in it. But if you're interested in it, I'll push that. I'll do it sooner than I'll do it sooner than what I was planning on doing it. I'll have to get the notes down for it. Heck, maybe I can do it sometime this next week. Maybe not this next week. Hey, maybe next week. You know what? You know what? Put that on the put that on the schedule. I'm gonna try and do it next week. If there is, see, that's the thing, is like I was like, oh, I don't know if anyone's gonna be interested in something like that. But if genuinely, if you are interested in it, I'll go ahead and I'll like put that in the tank to talk about, because I do have a lot to say about it. And of course, I did make that long ass video talking about the entire game, so like of course I'm still passionate about the game and the story and everything and everything. You've been waiting for it. Okay. We won't. We'll do it next week. Would you want it? I don't know. Maybe I could do it on as a self-appointed channel secretary. You'll add it to the agenda. Thank you, Hage. You gotta hold me to it. Wait, if I don't do it next week, you have to go through and dislike all my videos. You gotta unsubscribe and dislike all my videos to like tank me in the algorithm if I don't do it next week. I'm trying to think of a good day that I could do it. I could do it on a Tuesday. I could do it on like a Tuesday afternoon. I would need a few hours to go through all of it, I think. Like everything that I have to say. So, how about next? You'll unsubscribe right after. No, that'll confuse the algorithm even more. It'll be like, we don't know what to do with this guy. Let's shoot for next Tuesday afternoon. I don't think I have anything planned for next Tuesday afternoon. So not this coming Tuesday, the Tuesday after. So that'll be in July. Tuesday afternoon would be handy. All right. Let me. I'm gonna make a note. I'm gonna make a note for it. What day would that be? Like what? Like, do I not have a calendar? I do have a calendar. What day is it today? Today's Saturday the 28th. So not July 1st, but July 8th. I'm gonna pop that. I'm gonna put this on my computer up here so I don't forget about it, because I will forget about it, but I'm popping it right underneath my thing. All right, now that I'm committed to it, either be there or be square. I'll compile like my thoughts into an organized manner, so it's not just all ranting and rambling, and I'll find like clips from the show and stuff. But yeah, we'll do that. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you all for, you gotta hit the sack now. Hope you have a good week. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good night, Levins. I hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you for stopping in and talking. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Okay, so this is all that we did here today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 drawings in one stream. I think that's some sort of record. That's like a record. Typically, I only draw like 2 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my god. Good stream. Lots of fun and good practice. Thank you. I hope that I feel like I walked away with a bit more knowledge, specifically on like 3-dimensional forms. Because like the proportions and stuff are something that I can like brush up on by like drawing more stuff, but the 3-dimensionality of like a human skull is very difficult, and I feel like this sort of like helped me with that a bit, specifically with like the jaw portion. So that's really good work right there. All right, I'm gonna push my camera back to face myself so I can give a little. Oh my goodness. Wait, what do we think? What do we think about my big ass Lego set that we got chilling back here? I bought that like 4 years ago. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted to say about that. We're putting on the screen blur now to make it look more professional. Crazy. You want to share? Post it if you decide yes to the Discord. I will. Oh my god. Let me make a note of that also so I don't forget about it. I have a bad habit about agreeing to things and then forgetting about them. Wait. What should I name the Discord? I got really close to the camera. What should I name the Discord? Ew. I don't even like being that close to me. What should it be? Should it be the wait, because the channel is Liminal Pines. Should the Discord be the Liminal Pines Discord? Is that creative enough? Is that clever enough? I don't know. And of course, everybody who like is subscribed to my channel, you're all known as Pine Cones. So like, if anyone is in there, I'll be like, "Hello, my little pine cones." Yeah. I'm just yapping. I'm just yapping, man. The Pineys? Welcome to the Pineys. Or no, the Pineys. Pine cones? I don't know if the pine cones is any better if I'm being real. All right. I'm really bad at we all know that I'm really bad about ending my streams. I'm gonna pause this music. We all know I'm really bad about ending my streams, so I'm gonna try and make this um as short and as verbose as I possibly can. And hopefully we're gonna like end up somewhere in the middle. Thank you for watching the stream tonight. I really appreciate that you have taken the time out of your day to come and watch me talk about stupid stuff, talk about smart stuff, and to watch me draw and to be drawing along yourself. Thank you for the support. It has been amazing. Channel content has been very slow here recently because I'm lazy, and I'm currently in a weird motivational rut. So once I've break the shackles of my own mind, I will be posting more videos. I have one that's halfway edited, and it'll be out. It'll be out when it's out. So yeah, I hope everybody has a great night, and we will see you next Saturday. And I don't know what we're gonna be drawing next Saturday, so I'll probably put a poll up in the YouTube community posts that you all can vote on to see what we're going to be drawing next week, because I've been choosing the past couple of weeks. So yeah. Okay. Have a good night. Have a good night, Habes. And have a good night to anyone else who's been. And have a good night.